Take the click off. All right, let's address one or two things. Okay, so in the time since the riots happened, and I did my post, I've been arrested. I'll get around to telling you how that happened. Needless to say, the police in North London have gone mad. But all my travels around North London, I've been seeing since the riots. There's a full-scale crackdown going on, and there are black boys from Edmonton to Hackney, straight down the road, from Edmonton to Hackney, just being arrested, and police are winding them up, trying to provoke arguments with them, and if the boys raise in any way, shape, or form, they're grabbing them up. In fact, they're grabbing them up even before the boys rear up. To tell you the truth, it's a mad wind up going on right now. And young black boys are being criminalised. Now, here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. Is it the looter class? Are they the ones that were out looting? Do you think those are the ones that are being arrested? Hell no. No, those aren't the ones being arrested. Do you think it's the ones that walk around with their trousers down underneath the curvature of their arse, showing butt cheeks? Do you think it's those black boys? Hell no. In fact, you know what? At the beginning of the week, I had at the end of the lesson, I had I had about 10 to 15 young black boys. All the sensible ones came in to hear some advice I was dispensing on how to deal with the police, how to talk to the police, how to address the police by the lapel badges, looking them direct in the eye, all of this stuff. And no sooner had I given this talk, the boys got on a bus, and by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, early evening even, they're on their way through Seven Sisters, and they were pulled off the bus by police. Now, they're black boys, but these are black boys who have decided to dress smart into school. They've got a shirt and tie, maybe with cardi on, or a shirt tie with a smart over jacket on, and these are the ones the police are pulling over. Understand this war, right? And if you don't think it's a war, get the fuck off my channel. Because they're coming for you young, okay? Remember, since the 1980s, over 300 black men have died in police custody, and not one single arrest of a police officer. Not one single conviction. I think the first conviction out of all of those 300 was Ian Tomlinson the other day, and we all know about Ian Tomlinson. And the only reason the guy who pushed over Ian Tomlinson got done is because the thing was on tape. Now, I'm thinking how many other, of course, you know, we have the litany of black people dying in police custody with absolutely zero suspension or even criminal proceedings brought against the police officer, because this is a war. And since the 1980s, those 300 odd black people that died up until now, they weren't all roughnecks. A couple that were roughnecks were really hailed as, you know, potential miscarriages of police justice, and they always hail the worst ones as possible miscarriages of police justice, because all the other fully bona fide, valid police injustice arrests were of decent intellectual black brothers. Now, most of my young people are actually quite surprised to hear someone like Dark as How come on TV and be able to refute and rebuttal and give quite a stern rebuttal to the stupid female BBC commentator that tried to accuse him of rioting. Now, most of my young black kids don't know that these intelligent older black men exist with with a fantastic articulation and vocabulary that will devastate any 2-bit Johnny-come-lately TV presenter. They're not aware that these black men exist. You know, the ones with a veritable cornucopia of racial epithets, slurs, and slights that they could employ should they want to. Our young black boys don't even know that these articulate, well-spoken men exist. Why? Because since the 1980s, they've been getting killed off. You think there haven't been any black revolutionary movements that tried to take off in the UK? Of course they have. They've been suppressed, and they've been snuffed out really early. Now, here's the dichotomy. I've just finished giving these boys a rundown on how you're supposed to address or talk to or communicate with the police, and then I get arrested. then I get arrested. Now, the manner in which I was arrested, obviously, certain factors have been well known, and one of the factors was the antagonist, the one who actually phoned the police and got them to come and arrest me. Now, here's the funny thing. Do you think it was a white woman that phoned the police on me? No. Do you think it was an Asian woman that phoned? No. Do you think it was, what other... do you think it was my own people? Do you think it was a female from the Caribbean? Do you think it was a second generation Caribbean female that phoned the police? Well, you'd be right if that was your immediate assumption. Yes, the stupid bitch upstairs from the same island as my dad phoned the police and accused me of racially, get this, racially motivated harassment. Now, when I was speaking to the police and I was questioning them as to why they were even attempting to arrest me, I said, I'm sure I've got a list with the council, this is a domestic. They said, no, we wouldn't involve ourselves in a domestic. The seriousness of this is the racial factor. Now, when I opened the door to the police, knowing that this was a racial incident and bearing in mind that he was supposedly taking it seriously, as soon as he saw me, something should have gone off in his head like, oh, this isn't right. How many Chinese people do you know get arrested for racially abusing other Chinese? You know? How many white people do you know that get arrested for racially abusing You're from the same race. We're not talking about prejudice. We're not talking about calling you a Mick or a Paddy. No. We're talking about, racial slurs. And this police, as soon as I told him, listen, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to do this in a very civilized manner. He said, yes, we just want to talk to you. And then he said, well, if you don't open the door, we're going to kick the door in. I said, hang on a second. No search warrant or anything like that. I'm wondering if I should even open my door now. Can you step back a little bit, please, so we can have a civilized discussion? And I said, yeah, okay. Open the door. Took one step outside my front door, and they both tried to WWE wrestle me to the ground. Okay, they didn't. As soon as the one put their hand on me, I said, "Please don't put your hand on me. Well, you're still on my property. I haven't invited you onto my property." The stupid bitch upstairs opened the front door and let them in. These two young coppers trying to WWE wrestle me to the ground, and I'm just standing my ground in my hallway. Okay, standing up in my hallway, not allowing myself to be thrown to the ground in my own hallway by these two. These coppers could not go with me. They did not have the physical strength to go with me, and now I know why so many black men die in police custody. Because you'll need two on each leg, two on each arm, and then one thinks he's really hard and puts you in a sleeper hold or a choke hold around your neck. And that's how you break a nigger. Okay? That's how you break one of us. Okay? Because you don't have the physical prowess to take me down 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Now, all I was trying to do was stand up straight in my own hallway. I wasn't fighting the police. And after a while, I said, listen, okay, you guys are intent on putting your hands on me. I'm going to do my bounce routine. I held out both arms to the left of one copper and to the right of the other. And I slowly walked forward and I said, okay, gents, that's enough of that. Can you please leave the premises? Because at this point, one of the coppers just managed to slip the handcuff and goes, I'm now arresting you on suspicion of racially motivated harassment. I was like, racially motivated? Are you fucking... I was like, my eyes were so wide open. I was looking at these guys like the morons they were. And the thing is, they went for me. They genuinely went for me as though I was a criminal, as though I'd done something. Now, when three coppers can't get you down, and you're walking towards the door, and it looks like you're going to push them out the door. Well, one of them got on the radio, and before you know it, another five came running around the corner, and then, I felt my arm starting to slip. They put me up against the wall. I was like, oh, shit. I said, by the way, you haven't read me my rights. I'm standing in my own hallway. This guy only tried to read me my rights after it looked like I was going to push him out my door. And they handcuffed me and they told me that they were arresting me on suspicion of racially motivated harassment. They put me in the police van, and as I was on my way there, they were asking me if I had any sharp objects or implements. And I said, what, like the crack and the paedophilia? I said, no, that's really your bag. You're talking to a professional man. They put me in the van And obviously by this time I've lost my temper now because I've just been unceremoniously handcuffed, led out the front of my house in front of all of my neighbours because of this bitch upstairs. Now, why would the bitch upstairs do that? Now, I've got a bitch upstairs, okay, a bitch. And she's from Montserrat, she's from the West Indies. She doesn't know how things run here. She's so stupid. And the first thing she did was ring the police to try and take me away. She doesn't know how to talk to neighbours. She doesn't know how to... We've had numerous complaints about her. Okay, it sounds like she surfboards down the stairs on an ironing board. And when my girlfriend and I ever burst into laughter because we're having a good time, that's when she decides to pick up and start dropping the bowling ball on the hard wooden floor. And she does it again and again and again. Now, can you imagine trying to mark work with that banging upstairs? Bump, 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 bump. Anyway, I get into the police station, and really, the coppers are getting it from me. I'm actually breaking down exactly how stupid they are, exactly how badly this was an arrest. Okay, they put their hands on me before they even tried to read me any rights. All of this could have been sorted out with 2 minutes worth of polite, decent conversation. But the point of that, and this is what I'm getting to, it doesn't matter how well educated you are. Doesn't matter if you have a degree, doesn't matter if you're a teacher, doesn't matter if you're a professor, doesn't matter if you're an accountant or a doctor. When the police come for you, they just see your black nigger ass. Okay, and all the rules fly out of the window. Everything that I was telling the students, address the policeman by his lapel badge, which I did do, look him in the eye, which I did do, okay, was all for shit because as soon as I opened the door, they went for me. Okay, now, it's been a week since the riots. It's been a week, and nobody is saying anything, especially in my school. I think they're all too scared to say anything. But what really disgusts me the most, once again, are the Uncle Tom coons that have decided to forego any racial pride for career advancement and are leaving our young black boys to remain ignorant, thus being criminalised by the police on a regular basis. I know what's going on. I'm the only person that's saying anything. But you have black females and black men, predominantly females, but there are one or two Uncle Tom men that are running around who are too scared to even inform our own youth. They're too scared to even inform our own youth on how to deal with the police because they're afraid that somehow it might jeopardize their job. Now, this is disgusting. In 2011, we have some real Uncle Tom sellout bullshit going on. Now, I want to take these people to council, but there is no council of Afro-Caribbeans. There is no home country. There is no cultural. There's no cultural beacon for black people anymore and how we're supposed to react. Now we're in a predominantly a white-dominated establishment and acting the fool. Sleeping with as many white members of staff as you can for career advancement. Don't tell me it's not happening. I've been watching you for the last 6 years. Okay, now I think my time at the place is almost done. The school are really creating some real criminal types. Now, there's no way they're going to be black power or anything because their head's too far up a white man's ass. But these people think they're black, but they are the worst proponents of blackness in the black community. They will sag their pants. They've got their homosexual little side jokes, right? And I can name names who imparted that wisdom to their brain. They got their little homosexual jokes going on, but they swear up and down that they're black. The girls are no better. The girls are on some real self-hating bullshit. It's weaverlicious, weave-tastic, weaveroni. I don't know. It's like, you know, look, it's not your hair. Everybody and their mum knows it's not your hair, and it's not to impress black men. So who is it for? If it's not for black men, who is it for? And you're going to say, it's for yourself. Well, you look stupid in black men's opinions. But see, this weave seems to be the Jedi mind trick for white folk. Because I'm telling you, some of these white folk don't even realize that it's not even black women's hair. Some of these white people have grown up always seeing straight hair. never knowing the beautiful roundness of the 1960s and the 1970s. This is a totally foreign concept to some of the new 20-something young white guys in the place. And so they don't even bat an eyelid. Meanwhile, you'll be standing there, a girl walks past, and 2 seconds later, you will smell the funk from the hair. Now, it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic. No daughter of mine is wearing a weave. But if we are going to try and give ourselves and basically, I think most sensible black men are with me on this. Okay, most of the sensible black men are with me on this. The ones who aren't are, you know, some of the most pussy whipped manginas going, and I'm not interested in pussy whipped manginas. So here we go. In order to, if we are going to classify those black people who have been destroyed in order to keep away from them, I would say any black man who's still processing their hair in 2011 and drops their pants underneath the curvature of their ass is destroyed. They're destroyed, okay? And they have no part in my society. If I rule the world, they'd be the first to go. I start with my own people first. Oh, yes. Before I make my way around to the other nations, I'll start with my own people first. Boy, when I was in the police station, they must have been thinking, when they asked me whether or not I'd actually used the term black bitch to insult the young lady upstairs, I was actually very offended that they would assume and just immediately assume that I would use terminology like black bitch. I don't use terminology like black bitch. As I said, there's a veritable cornucopia of racial epithets and slurs one could employ. How about jungle bunny? How about hyphy-fifey boot-licking coon? How about jigaboo? There's numerous different... You see, you need to rotate your racial slurs. Okay? Now, that's something I wouldn't use the term black bitch, which just goes to show how much of a liar this cunt upstairs is, or was. Hopefully she's moved out. But, you know, in 40 years, I've never seen... Well, I have seen the inside of a police station once when I was arrested when I was 17. But in all of my days, I've never seen the inside of a police station. I've never been arrested. The police have had no cause to arrest me because I am not a criminal. But there are those out there who would try to criminalize black men, and it's the intelligent black men that are that are the target. The police are trying to arrest all the potentially intelligent black thinkers of the future. It's not the roughnecks. It's not the roughnecks getting. It's not the looters. Trust, the looters aren't getting arrested. Looters aren't getting arrested and picked up. It's the smart ones from sixth form college. Okay, and the sixth form, those are the ones that are getting picked up in Tottenham and Edmonton and Hackney, as far as I see it. Okay, the bitch-made Negroes with their pants down around their ass, like, yeah, like nothing like oh them, like the ones who listen to Gets and the girls who listen to Nicki Minaj and the boys who listen to Drake and you know that Pap and Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka and all of that shit. Now those guys are not getting arrested, and those were in the riot hard. I've come back to work and it would seem like those who are involved in the riots on a mindless crime spree have somehow been given props by a real retarded minority of teachers who somehow think that this was rebellion. I'll tell you what was rebellion. Those black guys up in Nottingham, that went and firebombed the police station, that is rebellion.